name is Willard, but during his school days, his fast-talking, charming and witty personality earned him the nickname The Prince. Then at the age of 12, he channeled his outgoing nature, sense of humour and creativity into writing rap lyrics. As a teenager, he teamed up with fellow schoolmate DJ Jeff Towns, and DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince was born. The pair are still regarded as one of the first to master mixing and scratching in the early 80s. After a shaky start, success followed, and would you believe it, Will became a millionaire at the age of 20.
When I first started writing rhymes in probably 80 is when I really first started to sit down and write rhymes, and I was writing raps in my book, and I had my four-letter words in there. You know, I was writing all my stuff, and my grandmother found my rap book, and she wrote a letter in the back of my rap book. She said, "Dear Willard," that's my grandmother called me Willard. She said, "Dear Willard, truly intelligent people do not have to use words like this to express themselves. Show the world that you're as smart as you think they are." So, and you know, I decided, okay, all right, Grandma, you're right.
In 1988, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince won the first ever Grammy in the rap category. On a high, Will spent up big, almost going bankrupt, when luckily in 1990, he met a producer who pitched the idea of a sitcom based on Will's real life, and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was born, running for 6 years. Success on the small screen led to roles on the big screen. Will impressed critics with his powerful performances in 6 Degrees of Separation and the action-packed Bad Boys, where he got the chance to work with the legendary Michael Bay.
You know, I mean, I think that what Michael Bay does that's really difficult and really interesting is he doesn't compromise the action or the comedy. It's a really hardcore, rugged action movie, but at the same time is very funny, which is difficult to impossible to do. A lot of times if you have a movie that's too funny, you can't make people believe the depth of the action and vice versa. So I think Michael Bay did a brilliant job of balancing the film into what I believe will be the summer's best.
From here, Will's career really took off. The blockbuster Independence Day went on to earn $800 million at the box office, bumping Will into Hollywood's A-list. And Men in Black not only became 97's highest-grossing film, but the theme song that he performed won a Grammy for Best Solo Rap Performance. Sequels and more hot roles kept coming, Will now demanding a fat $20 million a movie. But the performance that really blew everyone away and cemented Will as a great dramatic actor was his 2001 role as the legendary boxer Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I thought about it, and I watched a couple of Ali fights and tapes, and the harsh reality washed over me that it was absolutely, completely impossible. That it just couldn't be done. And not that it couldn't be done by me, it couldn't be done by anyone. Ali was the ultimate performer. You know, Ali was an actor. You know, I mean, everything that he did was big and bright and colorful and all of the things that you try to teach young actors to be. Michael Mann said to me, "I will create the curriculum that will allow you to be Muhammad Ali." And we sat down and we talked about the different phases, the physical, the emotional and mental, and the spiritual aspects, and how we would break the syllabus down into these 3 different categories, and then we would attack them separately. And for the first time, I could see the road.
Will dug deep emotionally and physically, and his amazing performance in the biopic was rewarded with a nomination for the Best Actor Oscar.
Will's hands are being wrapped before the Liston fight by Angelo Dundee, and he's running that fight plan in his head. People are talking to him, and he's not listening. And he'll move his head in a certain way, and there'll be a gesture with his body, and he goes, "Wow." You know, I'm in a room with Muhammad Ali, it's 1964, because he just is Muhammad Ali in that moment.
With all the intense physical training for the role, Will jokingly called himself Human Viagra, Will-agra. While filming, his wife Jada Pinkett Smith made some interesting observations.
Ali and Will Smith aren't too different when you really break down their personalities. But like I said, I just saw him kind of taking lessons that he was learning from Ali's life and applying them to his own, the good and the bad. So that's really the change that I saw. I mean, the physical is a given, you know, but just as far as Will, the spiritual man, the intellectual man, I saw a great change in Will, him in his process of self-actualizing of who Will Smith really is.
In The Pursuit of Happiness, Will played another real-life character, Chris Gardner, and scored his second Oscar nomination. And just like in Ali, he was lucky enough to meet the real man he was playing.
It's been very helpful to me to work with the actual people that the story is about. Like having Ali on the set of Ali was just, it was perfection, you know, because you play a moment. If it doesn't feel right, you say, how's that, champ? You know, and it was the same thing with Chris Gardner. Chris was there every single day. And the point is to capture the essence of the experience. We had 2 hours to take essentially 10 years of Chris's life and to crunch 10 years into 2 hours. And who better than Chris Gardner to assist with capturing the essence and the truth of what those moments felt like and what the experience was and the truth of the journey.
Starring as a homeless single dad struggling to raise a son while relentlessly trying to achieve a career as a high-flying stockbroker really resonated with Will, who is also an incredibly driven individual.
I saw the 2020 piece on Chris's life, and it blew me away. Just the power of the story, and there was a look in his eyes and a confidence and a strength in his eyes after having traveled that journey, that just he personified the American dream. You know, it felt to me that the reason that America has been successful in this world is based on the idea that Chris Gardner is possible.
It seems the passion for acting runs in the family, with his then 8-year-old son Jaden starring alongside him in the film.
Part of being an actor is you almost hypnotize yourself. It's almost a self-hypnosis, where what you're trying to do is for that brief moment that the camera is rolling, you don't want to be acting like you believe it. You want to really believe it. And when they say cut, you want to have to snap out of it. That's where you capture those moments. That's the nirvana for actors, where you actually believe. And having my son and being able to do the scenes, to be able to lay in a subway bathroom with my real son, just added to the ability to be able to transform and to become Chris Gardner for those moments.
Whilst their close chemistry is undeniable and they enjoyed filming together, Jaden found working with his dad challenging at times.
It wasn't fun, it was that he was always in character.
Well, because that's see, when you get old, your brain doesn't work as well. So you got to kind of stay focused and stay in character, whereas like you could go and you could have a good time between takes. But it was harder for me. But
I'd be like, we'll be in the trailer, and I'll be like, Dad, can I have an orange juice? You're like, sorry, Christopher, we can't afford an orange juice.
In 2007, he impressed us again in I Am Legend, playing the last surviving man on Earth after a post-apocalyptic viral plague. This role was very challenging, as Will occupied almost 2/3 of the screen time on his own, with no other actors to interact with. Now that's tricky.
It's just a beautiful exercise to not be able to talk, to have to figure out how to communicate things without talking, to have to search for behavior. And when you have to sell it in behavior, you have to truly understand it. Like, you can't fake it with the words, but to be in a situation where you can't sell the words because there's just an idea that you have to deliver in performance. It's beautiful. For me, it is, the center of what acting is.
The gamble paid off and I Am Legend set box office records. A born performer and attention seeker, Will enjoys his superstar status.
You know what? I'm very excited. People are here and screaming and cheering. You know, people screaming your name, that makes you feel really good. So the movie is hilarious. The album is incredible. So life is really good for me right now. It's one of those moments where you look back and you say, damn, it's going to have to change one day.
Enjoying success in multiple areas of entertainment, Will is a true Renaissance man whose versatility as a musician and actor allows him to move from one craft to another with ease. But what is the real difference for him?
The thing about making records is more about you know? When you're making a movie, you're more of a tool for someone else's vision. You know, someone else has thought up the story and someone else has written the script and someone else has signed on to direct it, and it's their vision and you're helping them to see their vision. Whereas when you make records, it's completely about you. It's completely about what you think, what you feel, what you want to communicate.
Will's warmth, infectious personality and versatility has made him popular with all races and generations. And by following his grandmother's advice, don't let failure go to your heart or success to your head, I'm sure we'll see plenty more Big Willie action from him. And remember, when watching any of his movies, listen out for his catchphrase, "Oh, hell no," that he incorporates into every one of his movies. So stay tuned to Star Picks. It's where you'll find the movies you know and the actors you love. For more of the best in entertainment news, check out your Movie Network channels. It's altogether better, on screen and at mnc.tv.